Welcome back to Thistle Hill Farmstead. My name's Todd, and today I'm going to be doing some maintenance on our John Deere Z920 zero-turn mower. On the deck, there is an idler pulley, which has gotten kind of sloppy. It's got some bearings in it, and when they get loose, it tends to let the pulley rub on the deck. So I'm going to take care of that today. I'm going to replace those bearings and try to fix the problem. So come along with me. So when I was replacing the blades on my deck the other day, I noticed that this idler pulley here is really kind of loose and floppy. And I had watched another video where the gentleman, and I can't remember the channel now. I'll try to find the channel in the video and put it in the description below of this video. But he used to be a John Deere mechanic at a John Deere dealership, and he used to work on these mowers quite a bit. And he said this was one of the trouble areas that you needed to keep an eye on these commercial mowers if you were really doing a lot of mowing with them, is that the bearings in this belt tensioner, and that's what this is the belt tensioner, the arm, not the bearings in the pulley itself, but the bearings in the arm would get loose, and then it would rub on the deck. And that's exactly what's happening here. So I am going to take that off. I have the new bearings, and I'm going to try to replace the bearings in that bad boy. So let's do it. So here we are down at the side of the mower, and right here is the idler pivot, and you can see it there. And that's what goes where the bearings go bad, is in this piece here. And there's a through bolt there that goes from the top. You can see the bolt right there, all the way through the deck, and holds that idler assembly in place. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Well, actually the second. First thing is I want to take the tensioner spring off, which is right there, and that will allow me to take the tension off the belt, and then I'll start working on that idler pulley. So I'm going to take that tensioner spring off. Let me slip some gloves on so I don't get my little fingers pinched. It's not too terribly strong, but you just grab it here and it hooks right under here. So you pull it back and then disconnect it. And now I don't know if you can see or not, but that idler pulley is moving freely now. That loosens up everything, and I'm going to now go and take that through bolt off to take that pulley assembly off. It's really kind of awkward to get up under here, but there's the bolt, that the through bolt, and I've already kind of chiseled off the dirt and grime that was on it there, and tried to get a wrench on it or a socket on it. And I believe that is a 11/16, which sounds like an odd size. Maybe it's worn a little bit. Instead of being metric, I would have thought it would be metric. And this one up here on the top, right there, get the light on it right there, is an 18 millimeter. So I want to see if I can get that off, and hopefully that will slide out and we can get that assembly out of there. All right, let me see if I can get my wrench on the top here. Okay, there we go. And like I said, that's a 18 millimeter. Not sure if can I get the box in? Yeah, okay. So I got the box in on there, which should make it easier to hold because I've got to crawl underneath and see if I can get impact on this one underneath here. Let's see how this goes. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Zip the bolt right off of there, or the nut right off of there. sure if I can even get in there to get it. What I'm going to have to do is let the mower back down so that the deck will come down. I still have it jacked up where I had replaced the blades earlier. So let me do that. Let me let the mower down, and then we'll get back at it, because that way I can get my hand in there. So I've got the mower down now, and should have some more room to get in there and work with this pulley now. Let's see if I can get it out. It's kind of heavy. That thing was kind of heavy and I drug my mic off. Sorry for all the noise, I guess, there. Whew, it fell down behind the back and I was trying to lift it back up. So here's the bolt that came out. Let me get my nut and put back on there before I lose it. Okay, we'll put it right there. Let me pull this out a bit. Now, to get this out, we got to get the belt out from around it. And if you've ever done a belt change on this mower, and I don't remember if I've done a video on that or not, but you have to loosen this retaining bracket here, which kind of keeps the belt from coming off during operation. And that's a 1/2 inch nut on top of there. And when you loosen this, this will allow you to, and you don't have to take it all the way out, but just get it loose. That'll allow you to slide the belt out from around it. And there we go. There's the belt tensioner. So here's the tensioner out of the mower. And the problem we have, this is the bolt that goes through here. You see that bearing there? It is really, really loose. And I believe the one on the back side, yeah, look at that. It's really loose. So what that's causing is this to kind of fall down and ride or touch the deck and wear the deck. Now I'm also seeing that this pulley is extremely worn. You can see the groove in this side where the belt rides on it all the time. Matter of fact, it's almost through right there. So I think what I'll do is flip this pulley over also, so to give a chance to work on that back side a little bit. But what I want to do now is see how I'm going to get these bearings out of here. Maybe I can knock them through the other side. Let's try that. All right, so got it in here on the bench now. The first thing I want to do is try to get this spring off of here. Okay. I think that would be easier than that. Come on. There we go. Spring off. And I want to try to get these bearings out. So I'm thinking maybe I can go down through the center and punch those out. We'll try it that way. These bearings are kind of floppy anyway. So I think what I may do is just see if I can pry this thing out. Oh, there's the dust seal, and you can see, yeah, those are pretty badly worn. Let's see if I can just pry this out. Let's see. Come on out of there. stick will work. Let's see if I can get a hold of that cage and get it up out of there. See if my little baby vise will hold this. Okay, seems to be. Okay, so I think, there we go. All right. Okay, I've got all of the cage out in there now, so that means these bearings should just dump out. Let's see if they do. There we go. Can you see that? So it looks like there's that inside shaft. And the reason I know there's an inside shaft in there is I ordered the part. Let me show you the parts. Now, I may not need that inside shaft, but I went ahead and ordered it anyway. Here it is. Just a little piece that slides in there to separate those two bearings. Spacer is what it's called. TCU 26746 is that. Then I have the two replacement bearings, and they are TCA 19532. And I did notice that when I was tearing this one apart, it had a SCK number on it, so I probably could have just got these bearings someplace else cheaper. If you watched one of my videos on replacing one of the pulleys, I was able to get a cheap bearing there. Let me see if this shaft piece will fall out now. Not quite, but that will give me an opportunity to pound on that and see if I can push this other bearing out. Okay, let me get this up in here. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can pound on that spacer and see if I can get that out. All right, I found a bolt to drop down in there, so maybe if I can pound on the center of it now, that will take it out. Okay. There we go. So there's the old bearing. There's the old spacer, which probably was fine. I need to get this bearing out of there still. And I smashed my finger a little bit. I was a little wild with that. Yeah, but that bearing, I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty well gone. So let's see if we can get this other race out of here. Yeah, let's see. Maybe, baby. Let's just leave it just like that. Let me take my handy dandy screwdriver. It can't be coming out that easy. Oh, that's the inside of the bearing. But that's still not the bearing race. So I need to be able to get that out of there now. Ooh-wee, that may be a problem. May just have to cut me a notch and knock that out. Because there really is no lip on the other side to bang on. I don't think. Need to get a real man's vise, don't I? This is like a little girly vise. But I haven't had to be doing this kind of stuff. So it may be time to get a big boy vise. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's not going to work very well. All right, I'm going to try something else here. I've got my Dremel with a cutting blade on. I'm going to see if I can cut a groove in this to weaken it up so then I can drive it out. I don't know how hard that is. I assume it's very hard. It's hardened since it's a bearing. This may not do anything to it, but I want to try it. I have my goggles on in case this thing flies apart. So let's do it. That did better than I expected. It at least put some grooves in it, so now I may be able to get something in here and just knock it loose. So let's try that. Let me put a bigger notch in it so that chisel will go down in there. Here's my next contraption I'm going to try. So now on to the next. I went and got this puller, and this is a bearing puller, and I want to see if that will pull this thing out. Now, I think the problem I'm going to have is there's no lip here to catch the puller on. This thing, I don't know why they did it this way. If you can see inside here, it's stepped down, so the inside diameter is the same diameter as the outside of the bearing, so there's no lip. And that's the problem I'm having with trying to just knock this thing out, is the fact that there's no lip on here to be able to hit against. So I'm hoping that this bearing puller will be able to grip it and pull it out. If not, I think what I'll do is take it, I don't have a welder, but I'll take it down to a friend's house who has a welder, and then just weld a piece of metal across here on the outside of the bearing, and then I'll be able to knock it out. But I'll try this bearing puller first and see how it works. So let's see if I can get this puller to work. Well, all right then. It's interesting, that just fell right out. Okay. So this is supposed to be able to go down in there. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be able to grip. There's really nothing for it to grip onto. But I'll try it. I'll just put it inside the bearing race there. Tighten that up. Okay, so there we go. I've got that part tight. Now let's see if I can get these little legs in far enough. Alright, so how does this thing work now? It's got to be able to pull. Yeah, I'm going to have to screw this and pull that up. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, let's see what this thing will do. Watch right down here. Hopefully it'll pull that up. I don't see the bearing moving. I see the thing sliding up, but I don't believe the bearing's moving. So let me see if I can get another grip on it. Let's see. Let's see if this will work now. All right, so let's try that. Yeah, it's just not nothing for it to grip on down in there. The lip is so small. So obviously that little bearing puller I was trying did not do the trick. So I gave up on it and I went down to my neighbor's house who has a welder, and the next couple of shots you see is us at his place and him helping me get this thing out by welding, of all things, a trailer hitch ball into the thing, and then we're heating it and we're able to get it out. Getting it? Yeah, that might get it. Get a couple on around the back side. Come on, baby. Come on. Okay. And you're good. Yeah, it is a little deceiving because it looks like that big round piece in there.
It really does.
It's supposed to come, but I think it's that bottom part of that circular. I just thought I'd do it, put the heat to it and get it going.
moving. The bolt that's moving, or is it? Oh, it's going. Yeah, it's moving. It's moving, but it's coming the other way with it. Yeah, it's loose now. Yeah, and I think we can knock it out now.
I'm not touching that thing. It's gonna be hot.
Just be careful.
Man.
Almost out.
Yeah, it moved.
Oh, we can get some behind now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we can get something behind. Don't want to. Okay, so she's come out a little bit. I don't know if you can see there, but it's hanging out some. We're gonna get it knocked out the rest of the way. Oh yeah. They gonna get in there. Still don't want to get down in there. There's just no room in there. Well, if we need to, now that it's up, we might be able to weld a little bit more on it. It just don't want to come out of there, does it? Alright, so we're going to try something else now. We've got it out that far, you can see, but we're going to try to put maybe another bead of weld in here and see if we can get it out the rest of the way. Alright, let's try it. Yeah, see, there's just, because of that inside lip is about the same diameter as the bearing, you just can't get anything in there to tap on it with. You almost need something with a 90-degree. What's up, girl? Come on out of there. Come on. If you get a bead on there, it's something to. How you getting on that well? Maybe put one down on the bottom there and then try to.
I think it's going to put that little lip on it.
Yeah, just something to get in behind and tap on it with. There you go, that might give you something to knock on. Come on, baby. It's getting close. I see it. It's at an angle now, at least. You want me to take this off? Okay. Alright, she's at an angle. It's coming out. It's coming. Bingo! There we go. So now that I've got everything apart, let me show you in case. So here is the old piece of bearing that came out of there. And what I'm going to do is just clean up everything a little bit. And here's where we had to weld and get all that up. So we had to grind off some areas so that the welder would ground off good. So what I'm going to do now is, before I put it all back together, I'm just going to hit it with some sandpaper and repaint this.
Mama gonna get the brush. Make it some of this shit off, y'all.
Okay, let's see if we can get this back together now. Put the bearings back in it. Okay, so if you remember, here's what the old bearings look like. They were in pretty bad shape. That's the one that we had to weld, and then here's the center piece that goes in. I've got all new parts for those. Got the new centerpiece here. There we go. And we got the new bearings. These actually have a seal on each side. This one just had a seal on one side. So I guess it doesn't matter with these which way we go back in. So let's put that there. Let's see if I can get a socket that will match up to that. And then we're gonna just gently see if we can get this started here. Okay, I believe that's got it. All right, good deal. And now we just need to drop this little spacer in, and we'll do the same thing on this side. Oh, look, that was a little bit rusty already, but I'm sure it'll go in there with no problem. Okay. That one's in. This one's in. All right, looks good. And we're ready to put the bolt back together. Put our pulley back on. So here's the pulley. And if you remember when we took it off, I was pointing out that this bottom side was really worn where the belt had been riding on it. And it went on like this, just like that. And the belt rode on this bottom part. So what I'm going to do, it's just got this spacer. The pulley is the same on each side. So I'm just going to flip it over and put the spacer here and then put it back on. So that way the belt now will ride on this bottom part of this pulley. And then we need to put our little bracket back on to keep the belt from jumping off. So here's our bracket for that keeps the belt from popping off, and it goes right there. Like that. And then we have our lock washer and our nut that goes on there. Now I'm not going to tighten this up all the way because we need it loose when we put the belt. Before we put the belt back on, we have to have it loose. Okay, that's snugged up. Now let's tighten up our pulley. Let's tighten up our pulley. That is number 18 millimeter. So I'm just going to do that with the impact. There we go. Alright, so we got our pulley, our new bearings, and we're ready to put it back on. I need to put the spring back on. Here's our spring, and it goes on like this. Now we are ready to get everything back on. So now we're ready to slide this back in. I'll put this in here. Okay, so got it back under there. Now I need to try to reach under and get my bolt in from the bottom up through the idler pulley arm, the belt tensioner arm. So what I'm going to do, there's a flat washer here that I need to align. Let me bring you over, show you. There's a flat washer here that's got to align with that hole there. And then I'll set the this up on top like that. And then I'll see if I can get my bolt through. Let me see if I can set you up here for all the action. Let's see. How about that? Okay, let's see if I can get my bolt up through there. we go. That was easier than I thought. Okay, now let me get the nut on there. So let me see if I can get the nut up on there. Can I get my hand in there? There we go. Okay, so just need to tighten that up now. May have to jack the mower back up because it's up under there. Maybe I can just use a ratchet. Before I took it off with the impact driver, but I had the mower jacked up then. So maybe I can just get a ratchet on there. Try it that way. So I've got my ratchet down here below. I'm going to put my wrench on the top. There we go. And tell you what, I don't want to get that stuck on there. Let me see if I can come in from the other way. There we go. And get underneath here with my ratchet. That's it. Now we just need to put the belt tensioner back on. Make sure I have the belt up on there properly. So I gotta have it around this one. And I'll probably need to go to the back and make sure that it's back up on the pulley here in the back. Because with all the pulling, yeah, see it's come off here. So we need to make sure it's back up on here. Okay, there we go. Go back to the front. And it's around all the blades properly. So let me see if I can pull that back up on there. All right, let's get this back up on here. There we go. Okay. Now I need to tighten up this little bracket in the back that holds the blade, or excuse me, holds the belt to make sure the belt doesn't come off. And I just want to tighten this back up. There we go. I need to put something in between there so that it doesn't go all the way back over and get onto the pulley. There we go. All right. Okay, so now everything's back together, and you see that arm is nice and firm. It's not flopping around like it was before. So we have our new bearings in there, our new sleeve, and we flipped our pulley over here where it will be using the other side of that pulley. And everything else is good. So we can crank her up and just check it out and make sure everything's working properly. All right, I'm going to start the mower, and I'm going to engage the belt without the safety cover on. Now, I don't recommend this at all. It's definitely not safe to do that, but I'm going to do it just for demonstration purposes and to make sure that everything's working properly. But you never want to run the mower without this foot plate on here. But it looks like everything's working great. We'll put the center pan back on, and then we'll be ready to cut. Okay, once again, thanks for watching. That was replacing the bearings in the idler tensioner on the John Deere, well, that's a mouthful, on the John Deere Z920M mower. A little bit more trouble than I anticipated just because that one bearing was really stuck in there, and you saw all the stuff we had to do to get that out. But hey, we got it out. We got the new bearings in, everything back together, and hey, it's working great. So once again, a little bit of fixing up on the old mower, and she's ready to cut. So thanks for watching, and remember, please press that like button if you found this video interesting or entertaining, and remember to subscribe to keep up to date with all of our videos, and ring that bell notification so that anytime I post a new video, you'll get notified.